Please put Idaho Town Hall in your search bar and watch those men who were not police officers drag that white woman out of her seat onto the ground and out of the town hall to God knows where to do God knows what because they didn't like what she had to say. Men to have God knows what happens to us when we get taken to God knows where because you're not about the revolution no matter how much you talk about it, no matter how much Macklemore you play, no matter how many Handmaid's Tale episodes you watch. I don't know what angry white women look like.
Because they not like us. That's why. They not like us. Go back and watch that video. Put what she said in the search bar. But I give you the gist of what happened. It was a town hall meeting in a town in Idaho. And a white lady was standing up saying what she had to say. And there were some white men there who were not police officers who dragged her up out of there. And like she was saying, don't know where they took her. Don't know what they did to her. There were other white women and other people there, and they did nothing. They had smart remarks to say, recording and stuff, but did nothing. They ain't like us. Because I'm going to tell you one thing I know about us and why they want us there. They would have had some scratches. They would have had a fight on their hand. We ain't finna let that happen. They stood by and watched. Just like they stood by and watched this happen with the election. Them the same people who voted for him. We don't want no parts of that. We don't want no parts of that. Now, it's sad that that happened. But when I be saying, y'all want to talk about what you need to do, get y'all shit together. Y'all won't even help each other. I'm not going to say can't. You won't help each other. Not one helped that lady. Everybody felt that way. They applauded her. They agreed with her. Ain't nobody help her. She got dragged up out of there by some random men because they didn't like what she had to say. And this is only the beginning. They didn't like us. Because, no. That wouldn't have happened. Because there'd been some dragging and some kicking and some screaming. Baby, it'd have been a band of black women on them asses. With everything we had. And that's the truth. They ain't like us, and that's why we ain't getting involved.
These people have proved to themselves that they do not have solidarity. This is why I made a video where this white woman was saying they envy black women for having solidarity because they tend to not have a sisterhood of looking out to each other. And yeah, I would say I'm making things up, but literally just a few days later, this happens where this woman goes to protest against the lawmakers in Idaho. And guess what? She gets dragged by white men and her fellow sisters are looking there, not doing anything. Because, yeah, let me tell you, never in a million years would such a thing happen to a black woman and black women stay there watching. A black woman will literally die on that hill cold helping a sister out. You know what's funny? This officer that was the security guard, they fired her for not helping the woman out. If you hear what she got to say, you will be angry. I got pissed. Please be pissed with me.
It's like, and you have people say, man, I can't believe that happened. But, racism is real and it happens. And it's awful. And so for our players, whether they are, white, black, green, whatever, no one knew how to handle it, and it was really upsetting. And for our players and staff to not feel safe in an NCAA tournament environment, it's messed up.
Let me first stop you there. Where is the racism there? Because it was white against white. Where is the racism there? And just for her to say, well, none of us knew how to handle it as security personnel, you see someone is being, it's giving your fellow woman, even if she is the law, she will literally let the law down and let you be dragged. And she would just be there watching. I mean, it's even worse. Like it is It is okay for us to say, oh, they don't look out to each other because they're not in no position, whatever the excuse that they're giving. Even security, a person who has power, they're there to keep law and order. You let a fellow woman be done, dragged, humiliated like this.
So I don't know if you guys saw the video of the town hall in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Yeah. Teresa Borenpaul, I believe her name is. She was a part of a group of protesters, which in a town hall, that is a public setting. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, it should be where a town hall is where people state their opinion on what is happening. And then you come to a resolution with all of the people in the area. Well, unfortunately, that area is full of conservative, misogynistic, far right trash. So what happened was they're carrying on about with their town hall, and she's part of the protesters. So every now and again, even the people that were there stated they weren't being obnoxious. Just every now and again, they would holler out and be like, that's not true, or something of that sort, right? And instead of them just letting the protesters speak like every other professional official does, they take opinions from all, which is the whole point. He decides to mock her and call her a little girl, and that she doesn't know the consequences of what she's doing. And then proceeds to threaten to spray her with pepper spray while she's in the audience, mind you, with people all around her. And then directs 3 unmarked men, no badges in sight, to come and remove her. And they're literally dragging her, and she's on the ground. And the people in the audience are like, you're hurting her, you're hurting her. It was, go watch the video.
A lot of European American women have been wondering, how do you start a revolution? And I don't think a lot of people realize that your physical body is going to be in harm's way during a revolution, because European American women have always leaned or expected for Black and brown women to be on the front lines. But this time you're in the battle. You're in the battle. You're in the front lines. And I hope that this image also helps you guys to recognize you're not there yet. Nobody helped this woman. Nobody helped this woman. 3 men who were not wearing uniforms drug this woman out screaming. She was not causing a fit. Like, she didn't do anything besides voice her opinion. These men are not wearing police uniforms. One person identified themselves as a sheriff, and these are supposedly private security. I wouldn't be surprised if this is right-wing militia people that they are using for security in these Republican town halls. These are Nazi meetings. And I say you're not ready because 3 men dragged her out while people watched and filmed. Nobody helped. You guys aren't ready because if you do not find a way to revolute, you don't have community. You don't have protection. And if more of you are not ready to start putting your bodies in harm's way, like this woman has done forcibly, nobody protected her. If you're not ready to do that, they will actually be controlling your bodies. It will be your body, their choice, because that is what this, that is what this is.
As someone who works in this field, I would never go to a public town hall meeting. Those are not for us. Our Congress members do not handle opposition well. And so a lot of these town halls will end the way we saw in that video. If you must go, my advice is to take a very large brown man with you. Someone that you know is not going to play about you. And someone who has that aura and sense that they are not to be played with. That's my advice. But honestly, just don't go. Don't go. There's other ways to get in contact with your members.
It's like, and you have people say, man, I can't believe that happened. But, racism is real and it happens. And it's awful. And so for our players, whether they are white, black, green, whatever, no one knew how to handle it, and it was really upsetting. And for our players and staff to not feel safe in an NCAA tournament environment, it's messed up. And so we moved hotels, and the NCAA and Gonzaga worked to get us in a new hotel, and we appreciate that. But yeah, that's what happened, and it was a distraction and upsetting and unfortunate. This should be a positive for everybody involved. This should be a joyous time for our program. And to have kind of a black eye on that experience is unfortunate.
And we've also been here when we discussed the recently pardoned J6ers that were captured right there in your state, to the point where I said, well, if you happen to be looking for them, you know a couple of good places to look. Now, if I characterize you guys a certain way, you would be mad. Yet this is what it is whenever you are brought before us. And now what you got going on?
Well, a woman in North Idaho was dragged from a town hall meeting when she spoke out against the policies being discussed. Organizers say she was disrupting the meeting. Abby has been tracking the fallout today. Abby, what did you learn?
Hunter, it was at a Kootenai County Republican Central Committee Legislative Town Hall. Teresa Bourne-Paul came as a resident to listen to lawmakers, and she ended up in the emergency room. Teresa Bourne-Paul was attending a Kootenai County Republican Central Committee Legislative Town Hall Saturday, discussing topics like Medicaid and school vouchers, when she was forcibly removed from the meeting.
All of our elected officials in Kootenai County and surrounding areas are all Republican, and so that is why the Republican Party did the town hall. The auditorium was full.
Bourne-Paul, who has previously run for a seat in the Idaho House as a Democrat, tried to ask a question during a discussion about reproductive rights. Her friends, Megan Kuntz and Tamara Saenz-Kermelis, tell KTVB legislators would not take the question.
They even used the words "shut up"
Yeah.
at one point. And so, yes, she said, is this a lecture or a town hall?
Bourne-Paul was first approached by Sheriff Bob Norris.
My name is Robert Norris, and the Sheriff's County. We're asking you to leave on video. Please get up or be escorted out.
Sheriff Norris asked her to leave, then grabbed her.
Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Let's go. You're going to be escorted out. I just happen to have a nice offer. Okay, I'm asking you to go. Do not pepper spray.
Then Norris called in 3 unmarked security officers.
Nobody knew who these people were that were assaulting her and pulling her away.
Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Show your badge! Who are you? Don't touch her.
They pulled her out of her seat.
And she wasn't doing anything threatening. She was sitting in her seat, not doing anything threatening.
And into the hallway while Sheriff Norris filmed. Kuntz and Saenz-Kermelis say the MC of the event spurred it on.
He called her a little girl multiple times. Also said, your voice is useless or doesn't want to be heard here.
This little girl is afraid to leave. She spoke up.
Kuntz and Saenz-Kermelis, as well as Coeur d'Alene police, say Bourne-Paul was cited. The battery charge stems from allegations that she bit one of the security officers.
In my opinion, that sounds like self-defense.
Kootenai County Republican Central Committee posted on Facebook saying Bourne-Paul was arrested and that she disrupted the town hall and vocally cheered for any DEI initiatives.
It was evident that dissent was
not being tolerated.
And the Idaho Democratic Party issued a statement also saying, quote, "It's a very sad day when a woman who voices dissent is physically dragged out of a public venue by unidentified men while the event moderator."
The Republican view of manliness and courage involves stepping out of the way so that the boots can come in and drag a woman away because she spoke her mind at a town hall. How courageous to stand up against a woman's voice by stepping out of the way and letting unnamed powers come in and drag her and assault her as she's screaming, "Who are you?" Republican men are so courageous to stand up for each other and let the women go down. Wow. I think that guy bothered me most, the one who stepped out of the way and allowed them to assault her. Because it shows this collaboration between the everyday GOP Republican and the fascism. Because if there's not that kind of cooperation, this doesn't happen.